What's up, peeps? Welcome to the locker room. You know I am the playmaker, Michael Irvin. I can't tell you, I've been looking forward to chatting with you. I've been looking forward because I got so much going on, and I tell you how much I enjoy having this locker room to just chat with you guys. So come on in, grab a little seat, and let's chat. There's no real, yeah, you got some WNBA playoffs and stuff on Tuesday nights, but but Tuesday night is always a great night to chat because now we got the whole weekend of football and Monday night football in. And we got all of that Monday information that we want to talk about that went down Monday coming off the weekend. Monday, if you do like okay, say you do a Monday live. A Monday live, all you're going to talk about is the games because that's going to be the hot stuff right there, right. But a Tuesday, we're gonna get in the games. You'll get all that heat out, and then Monday night football. But then we can talk about some of the things that happen around the game. Also, you know what I mean. You don't have to just talk about the results of the game, but all the things that go on around the game. Also, hey, I saw a documentary on Netflix, very good. Thanks, Mr. Lee the third. That was Lee the third. That's four. That's the four. Oh, that's the, my eyes get bad. You know what? I'm telling you something too. Remember I told you guys that Shannon said something to me about like cataracts in my left eye or something when I did his show, like a little film over my eye. Since he said it, and it's just I don't want to ramble, but since he said it, I've been noticing something. Like so I told you, so I made a doctor appointment, but I'm gonna go to see. But I've been kind of noticing something. And I'm gonna tell you something, like right there, I always think like it's just my glasses dirty. And I keep taking them off. But yeah, so I don't think it's anything big. You know what I mean? So I'm just jumping on that. I don't think it's anything big, but I'll let you know and take care of it. Pray for my little cataract. I know, if that's what it is. They ain't speaking it, but I'm going to get it checked. Let me tell you what hurts me today first before I get into the weekend of football and talk about how the Cowboys beat the Giants and how I ultimately felt there. I talked about a little bit before the Dolphins started 0-2, headed into Thursday night football, which I can't wait to see against the Bills, who looks like the best team in the National Football League, at least one of them right there right now, and the Dolphins being 0-2, and everybody saying, fire the coach, fire the general manager. And remember what I said to you. It's usually 7 days you're going to play the hero or the GOAT. The Dolphins right now been playing GOAT, and things look real bad. But they got a reprieve. They don't even have to wait 7 days. In another 2 days, they can fix all that has been going on, and all that has been going wrong with the Dolphins if they can just pull off the upset and beat the Buffalo Bills. But that's what we're talking about in a minute. Right now, I'm going to talk about Molly. Molly Horn leaving ESPN. Let me get one. Let me one. Let me get one of these strawberries. You see it right here. Chocolate strawberry. Thank you. I do want to talk about.
Don't eat the green part.
I take that. I don't what thing I worry about. Let's go. Don't get me in trouble. Handing me something this week, and I'm about to talk about Molly. So don't get me in trouble. Let me talk about Molly Quinn leaving. First Take, ESPN. I am sad to see that. I know you guys have probably heard, if you haven't heard, Molly put out on her Instagram, on her social media, that she will be leaving First Take, leaving ESPN, leaving First Take. And yeah, I'm sad. Then I've gotten people sending me some things that are going around on my social media saying, no Molly, no Michael, no Shannon, I'm out of here. That kind of stuff that they send you on social media. But no Shannon, no Michael, that's one thing. No Molly, I'm worried, that's another. Molly's very good at what she does. Very good at what she does. And I thought she was a perfect fit for Stephen A. She's smart, she's credible. And yes, she is beautiful. But she knows how to control by playing her role. You know what I mean? She controls by playing her role. She's not challenging you when you're on in any ill way, and she knows you guys know I have to put the show in order. I have to keep the show in order. It's my job to keep the show in order. And we go crazy and crazy, but she always brings us back. She can always bring you back in a conversation, in a debate. And I love it. I love her. I love her. I really do. I love how she does that. And if you guys work in business, like I've worked in the business so long, everybody can't do that. You're dealing with men and egos in a sport that we dominate, and then you have a woman corralling the order. You gotta be good at that. You gotta be good. You gotta know how to give everybody their room, but still put things in order. And she was the best at that. You guys don't know. I tell you, I've known Molly a long time. I know Molly when she worked at NFL Network, way before going to ESPN. I think she went to ESPN like 06, before she was at NFL Network. And that's when I first met her. And I hope she doesn't mind me sharing this. We were friends then. And I would always wonder, because I thought she was great on TV then. She was great. Way back then. She was great. But they didn't use her much. And they didn't put her on shows. And I was like, I don't understand. I mean, she's great. She's, like I said, knowledgeable, and she's beautiful. Why won't you use her? But at the time, the network was using mostly blondes as I looked at the TV. Mostly blondes. And so Molly got a chance to come over to ESPN, and I should added so much to the show that even though the show has gone through other people, changes, having Molly and Stephen A, that was the base. Even though Skip had left, and they brought other people in, and Max had left, and I had left, and Shannon had left, but Molly was the Robin to Stephen A. And now without Molly, I know how hard my boy works. I know how hard he works, and he'll find a way to keep his show at the top. But I'm just telling you, I'm not saying anything to bring him down. I'm saying everything to lift Molly up. Dude, Molly was great. Molly was great, and we're going to miss her. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. Funny times. What is this, Michael? You never leave the channel. Oh, promise. That's supposed to be promise. Promise us you will never leave this channel. Seeing you so free to do what you want is so incredible. Thank you for, dude. Let me tell you something. Who said that? Who said that? Funny time. Let me tell you something. That's prophetic. I promise you, that's prophetic. Gene and I was talking about this same thing before I came on today, because we're getting so many opportunities, and people are saying, we want to do this, we want to do this with this show, we want to do this with this show. And I was saying, Gene, this is just, it's my spot. I like my spot. I don't want to be bound by the rules of anybody. Some warlord over me telling me I can't say that Molly was very smart and beautiful and all of this, or some warlord over me if I'm out after I come back from hanging out with the guys after the fight and after party, and I had a few little winkety. I want to be able to talk to my peeps still without somebody saying, "Well, you had a drink and went on air." You know what I'm saying? So I'm working through that. We're working through it. We're working and talking to people, man. But I like a free flow. I like a free flow. I like something real. And I have to worry about me. I'm not coming here to tear anybody down. I'm coming here to try to help me with me. And if I can, try to help you with you. Because I can't leave me and you can't leave you. So we got to find ways to make sure we can help each other with each other, if you know what I'm saying, without worrying about some warlord trying to tell us how to do it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Hey, I appreciate you saying that, man. The interview with Jim Rome was great, man. Jim Rome, my dude, too, man. I love Jim. I do. Hey, just never do this. What he said? Just do this. Never return to mainstream. Speak your truth. And that. Hey, let me ask this, because yeah, yeah, that's very important. Now, do you lose something even if you do not return to mainstream in a sense? And I know what you mean when you say mainstream. And what I'm saying, if I was doing something dirty, then it'll be here and then they'll put it all over mainstream. But if we're trying to help each other with each other, and I just leave it here, they won't put it all over mainstream. So I'm gonna have to go and feed them that little turpentine, put a little orange juice back. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to go on mainstream to get it to them sometime, because they not gonna come looking. You got a whole bunch of people out here looking only to tear down and only turn in or tune in or wake up or perk up when something is about to tear down. Sadly, you get appreciation out of watching others fall. I think it's usually because someone has done something to you where you can't appreciate it, or you want to. It's yeah, it's sad to see people, and a lot of people live like that. Like, they're not happy, so the best happy they get is seeing someone else fall, or talking about someone else falling, or problems. And in some way, they get some form of satiety saying, I know I got all my problems, but at least I'm not that guy. That's the car accident syndrome. That's why everybody stop when there's a car accident. Because think about it. You're leaving a miserable job, going to a miserable home, or leaving a miserable home, going to a miserable job, and somebody has stopped an accident. You ride on by and you say, man, I'm miserable. I'm mad. I'm angry. But man, this ain't that guy. He just had a wreck. And we slow down, slow down just to see that there's some truth to that. I try, even though I know this now, I try to, whenever I'm just, I ain't miserable. I'm not playing that game. But back to the Molly. I'm just saying, we're going to miss Molly. Stephen A is going to miss Molly. Stephen A is going to miss Molly, and I think miss her a whole lot. Now, I want to talk to you guys about that Cowboy game the other day and how you felt. I told you guys how I felt about it. I felt after week one, I felt like, man, we won. We won, we lost, but we won. I kind of felt like week two, right after the game. Right after the game, I felt like, we won, but did we really win? Because remember now, and I'm looking at it from the macro, everybody started saying, yeah, we're going to be fourth in the division. The Giants will be right there. The Giants may even beat you guys and everything. So I wanted a defining win against the Giants to show that what we did against Philadelphia was no joke. That means I wanted to show the Cowboys were closer to the top of the division than they were to the bottom of the division. If the Giants were going to be the bottom and the Cowboys are the top, you see what I'm saying? So that's why I played it. So I was that's probably why I felt like that right after the game. But when I went back and looked at all the parts that went on in the game, it made me feel better, about the game. When you talk about 6 lead changes in the fourth quarter, and the Cowboys kept answering the bell. That's something I got to put a check on. You see what I'm saying? When I turn around and see, oh my God, yeah, we got George Pickens involved. He scored that touchdown. That's big because I need to make sure we keep his head in the game. CeeDee Lamb put his 9 for 112 in, and Dak threw for 361 yards. I don't want Dak throwing that much all the time, but I'm glad he threw that much this time because it took that much to win the game, and he made the play. The difference between good and great quarterbacks and then great and legendary quarterbacks is a small difference. Is if you can make the play in the right moment, and that's what honestly has slipped that. It's can you make that pressure rise play in the big pressure rise moments, like the playoffs in the 49ers or the Packers, and those plays have gotten away. That is what he needs to make sure he's continuing to prove to the people out here. You know what I mean? The people out here, because that's what they hold back on that, because we haven't gotten past. Well, Dak has 2 playoff wins, and we haven't got past. We haven't gotten to a championship, NFC championship, or a Super Bowl that takes those plays. But we've had the teams, and I think Dak got a team this year. I told y'all, what did I tell y'all? What are we? Right now, I think 4th or 5th in the league. Nathan, give me them offensive numbers. Okay, where the Cowboys are ranked. I think 4th or 5th, too. I know I saw it somewhere earlier, but get me factor on, spot on. And I told y'all that all we got to do is get the average in 30, 31, 32 points a game and get in that fight. And we get in that fight. That's what everybody's going to score. Now, last week, that was an explosion. There's an explosion in scores all over the place. I mean, they had at least 10 games that averaged like 50-some points a game. And so, that was one of those unusual weekends. But what the Cowboys can do on offense is what'll keep them in every game this year. So that's why I say when I stepped back and looked at those 6 lead changes in the fourth quarter, I was like, okay, wait a minute. This is what I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. As long as we got offense and can put up and put up 30 or 35 points a game, you'll be in this fight. Cowboys are 5th right now, points per game, averaging 30 points per game. Anytime, let me just take a pause right. Let me give y'all a second to just appreciate that genius. I mean, hey, you go back. This is exactly what I said. Go back. Now I know we only 1-1 here, but this is exactly what I said. And I said this number, we gotta be up in that 30. You can't drop below that. You gotta get up there now because you're seeing the kind of offense that's coming off right now. But it'll give you a chance. I said before it started, Dak gonna have to have an MVP season. And honestly, if CD catches those boot that we know he'll never drop again, so I ain't messing with him, we would be saying Dak is having just that. And he is. those first two games, Dak has played MVP type football. I'm going to say that again. In these first two games for the Dallas Cowboys, Dak has done exactly what I said he needed to do. I told you Dak needs to play MVP football for Dallas to have a chance. Dallas has to average 30 points for Dallas to have a chance. And he has given us that chance. Because he's playing MVP type football. And those are only two games. But that makes me feel real good. And he's putting up 30 points. That makes me feel real good. And we're talking about right now, this isn't clean football that's being played. We've had a number of drops and a number of miscues. So last game, we lost the center. So I'm telling you, what? Y'all, I'm telling y'all, don't play. I go, thank you for giving me that. I'm going to give you a number one. Baltimore Ravens, number one at 40. Buffalo Bills, number two at 30, 35.5 points a game. Detroit Lions, 32.5. Indianapolis Colts, 31.0. And the Dallas Cowboys. The Colts, so, I'm going to just say Dallas is 4. The Colts looking on up in there right now because Daniel Jones is playing out. But you know what? I need to talk about that too. We need to talk about that because here it is again. Here is Daniel Jones, and I'm not going on this, but I'm going to just say this again. Another quarterback leaves New York and starts showing up playing well. Y'all don't think that's amazing? These dudes, everybody is not built for New York. So Daniel Jones, that trips me out to see that he just popped back over there and showing up now and playing well. But back to this Dallas thing, all that people have said, everybody had you thinking that this was going to be the worst year for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm telling you, when I look at Dak and I see what I see, I mean, it just, I don't know. I've been telling you guys, like, there's just a maturity to him. It's him. Same thing I saw with Josh. They got the wives, they're just like families. I think I looked at them as, they like grown men now. Like grown men and leading football teams. And Dak doesn't, Mike McCarthy, all of those guys, I think he capitulated to. But I think he really feels, and I'm not saying he doesn't listen to, he listens to, but I think also Coach Schottenheimer listens to him. So they have now a real marriage and a real possession of the franchise together. And honestly, I like it. I like it because it's producing. Dak is producing like I need him to produce. And if this is what it's going to take with him taking his ownership, Mike McCarthy, some offensive genius, you're gone. Why is he joining the blank? Offensive coordinator that we just lost. He's the Saints head coach. Why is his name drawing a blank for me right now? Right. Offensive coordinator, Saints head coach, whatever his name is. Oh, yeah, Kellen Moore. He's gone. All of these guys that was with Dak, supposed to be helping Dak, gone, and the guy he has now, Dak's look at us, we're helping each other. So I just feel like he's gotten possession of this whole franchise and everything. And I believe this will be the year. This will be the year. I hope that this is the year that Dak makes that special play. Because I've seen it. Dak got hit in that Philly game, and that ball still got delivered perfectly to one of the receivers. Dak took a hit. It's right, and that too. I want to say that too. That's what I think I see. I see a Dak Prescott who's finally passed the injuries, who has said, okay, I got to cut this loose. Whatever happens, happens. I can't worry about it. And I think prior years, especially after going through such an injury, you do, you can't help but think about it. You can't help but think about it. But then you get to a place where you say, okay, oh, there's somebody calling me. God darn it, what happened there? How do I get back to you guys? Okay, what was that? Okay, yeah. I was messing with some guys about they'll see me doing this live, and then they'll start calling. And I'm like, man, what are you doing, man? You know I was, and my thing, I hooked up my phone and my iPad, right? Okay. I was gonna mess with them, but I used to do that. We used to do that. I do it to Keisha, I do it to Stephen A. We, just messing with dudes. It's just kid stuff. It's just kid stuff. That's what we do. But what I'm saying here is I'm hyped. I'm hyped for what we have in front of us. This game coming up. This game coming up. And then that game. We ain't gotta play around. We know what we talking about. We got this game coming up and then that game. You know what I mean? That's how that's gonna play out. And that game gonna be that game. And I don't mind. Yeah, I do. I do. Don't talk crazy, Michael. But I can't wait to see what that game's going to be like after we get this game to work one more time on this offense. I'm telling you right now, each week you'll see this offense take a little step. Each week you're gonna see this offense take a little step. 52 times is a lot. But Ferguson got in and made some plays. You got CD making plays. Each week, you're going to see this offense take a little step. And now, also remember, you signed Jadeveon Clowney. And everybody's talking about, Clowney, what do you get out of him? What do you get out of him? A couple of years ago, I think he had 9.5 sacks. I think it was with the Ravens. He had about 9.5 sacks. If Jadeveon give you, I don't see 9.5 sacks. If we give you 8 sacks, it was worth the hire. That's 8 towards what Michael Parsons would have given. You see what I mean? 8 sacks, and you can get something here. You can get something and we definitely got to get some pressure on the quarterback because you can't be putting up these kind of points and letting guys throw the ball down the seams wide open like that. That was just insane. It was insane. I can't even begin. Yes, I can. To think about what it would be to still have Michael Parsons here. Mm. Mm. The offense like they're doing because it matches up. So we got to find pressure for the quarterback. We got to find pressure. The first 2 weeks, the quarterback has gotten out of the pocket and ran for big yardage. And God, he messes with me in certain ways, He knows how my brain works. And he torments me in certain things. Like, think about what I'm telling you. Say Jalen Hurts got out the pocket, made a lot of critical yards, critical game-keeping, driving, scoring, yards, running. Russell Wilson got out the pocket, made a lot of crucial, game-changing yards running. And then that's how God played with me. And then when I watched Michael Parsons, and he shows me Jared Goff getting out the pocket, trying to run, and then Michael Parsons running him down. Now I gotta sit here saying, If I could just take that, put it over here with this team putting up that mud, boy, God. And egos got in the way. Let me just say that. Egos always get in the way. I guarantee you that's what got in the way with Molly and ESPN. It was an ego. Some corporate dude saying, no way, she's a girl. We're not going to pay her that kind of money. Take it or leave it. That's what it is. And not understanding chemistry on the show, how important it is. All he sees is numbers on a paper. And you try to sticks out, put somebody in, and we can save money in that area. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. But it won't be as good. You can't replace that kind of chemistry, or it's very difficult to replace that kind of chemistry. So, it's just, yeah, I let it go. We'll talk about that next week after this game, because we'll have that coming up right after this game. You know what I'm saying? Who cares if you retire a Cowboy? That don't help us. What do you mean? What we talking about there? Okay, we need to get after those quarterbacks. Right, Caleb is good at escaping collapsed pockets, and you're right. You're right. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And dude, let me give you guys this. Not just Caleb Williams. Every quarterback now in the National Football League can run. You got to see it from my perspective. I'm not talking about, you're not going to run into a Peyton Manning and a Tom Brady. They never ran. And even when they did run, they wasn't running because they couldn't run. But every quarterback now in the National Football League can run. And that's the killer. That's the killer right there that I'm worried about the rest of the year. But I like the battle that I got going on up front with all of those big defensive linemen. There's somebody scrapping to try to come out a star. Jadeveon Clowney signed with the Cowboys because he knows there's a star missing right there. And who? Jadeveon Clowney get back on the board. Let him come on in this game. Let him come in this game and play a little bit, do anything, and then go up against Michael Parsons here the next week and go get 2 sacks, and Michael Parsons has 1. Out. I know that's just me thinking. And I'm going to leave Michael Parsons alone until we take care of the Chicago Bears. Let me just leave that out there, y'all. Y'all got to help me with that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Jason Rich. Hey, we got 2 firsts in interior linemen getting right. Getting sacks. Yes, he did. And we do got 2 firsts. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to love them 2 firsts. When them mugs come around, I'm talking about right now, getting down. I'm trying to win right now. I don't worry about that. So I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you. But it's still hard for me. Yeah. It is the business. That don't mean it don't hurt you guys. Just because it's the business. You guys got to understand how I see it too. I was the first one. And I'm going to get Mike on and we're going to talk about that. Because I'm going to ask Mike about that. I'm going to let it go. But I was the first one that he said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm do just what you did. I want to play for the Cowboys. And he had it right there. So okay, I'm going to let that go. I'm really going to let it go. How many of you guys worried about Chicago? How many of you guys believe now, because Chicago had pretty good defense, are you worried about Chicago beating the Dallas Cowboys, or the Dallas Cowboys overlooking Chicago, not like I'm doing, kind of like I'm doing, to be honest with you, talking about the Green Bay Packers, who comes up next. That's the concern we got around. Who is worried about Chicago? That's the question. Who is worried about Jason Rich? Not me. Not me. I got you. The network needs you, Mike. He ain't the same without you. I appreciate that, DC. I appreciate that, brother. You know, and I miss Sundays. I miss working Sunday morning. I miss feeling like I got a game on Sundays. You know what I mean? That part. Yeah, that part I do miss. Okay, we're gonna do a little poll. Okay, let's do that poll. Who's worried about Chicago? Now, you know what? Somebody gonna see this and say, "Uh-oh." Somebody gonna see this. Hold on, Charlie. Somebody gonna see this and say that Cowboys are getting the big head. They're starting to overlook people. Cowboys overlooking people. And I didn't say that. I'm just saying, I'm just asking the fan base. Who's worried about Chicago? Yes, sir. I am. I don't want to be a spare get back game, or Caleb get back game. You're right. You're right. Bears are struggling. Yeah, but think about this, man. And each thing tells us something. Jason Rich, each thing tells us something. Everything does. How you handle the ride is what it tells you. Last week, okay, I wanted you to beat the Giants better, but the Giants had a hell of a game. They rose up. So that's why when I say I step back, I think about it. Wait a minute. I want to see the Cowboys raise up, but I got to leave room for the opponent to raise up, and the Giants rose up. So the 6 lead changes means the Cowboys rose back up and got the win. That's big for me. That's big. So now you go into Chicago, you say, I'm not worried about Chicago, but this is exactly what makes me worry sometimes. Whenever the pressure is off, does the team still pressure everybody? You see, that's what I'm saying. Whenever the pressure is off and the team doesn't feel pressured to win, it's not it's not the Philadelphia Eagles. Do they still show up and perform and play as hard? That's the mark of a champion, and that's why Chicago sometimes a team like this can worry me, because Dallas can they can slip up here and not take this the right way and go up and take a loss. Or they can go in here and overlook this NFC North team, thinking about the next NFC North team that's coming in here. That concerns me. Yeah. Hey, the miles of the journey, Mike. Yeah, it is. The road you got to go through. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that it's part of the journey. You gotta go through it. But I need to understand how the mentality. This is what we're talking about. How close is the team? How close? How well led is the team? I told you guys earlier that I like what Schottenheimer was doing because he created competition under pressure. How well did it take? That's what we're looking to find out. Last week, when you exchanged leads 6 times and you still come out on top, thank you, God. Thank you, Auburn. That means it's taking. It's taking. Now you got to see the consistency and how it takes. We will rise up. Hey, what is that? How you got that name? Whistle Britches. That's why his name is Whistle Britches. We will rise up. That's funny, ain't it? I had to figure out a way to make these letters over here bigger. You know what I mean? Just so I get, but it's funny. Oh, okay, y'all just did that. Oh, okay. Oh man, hey. Now we doing so. It never pays. Okay, wait. We putting it back on. But the road to a championship is never paved smoothly. I love that, buddy. Hey, that's my saying right there. The road to a championship is never. He is exactly right. The road to a championship is never paved smoothly. It's paved with peaks and valleys, and everybody loves the peaks, but it's who can handle the valleys that matter, and that will win ultimately in the end. And I'm not calling this a valley for the Cowboys, but the Cowboys certainly don't want to be 1-2 going up against this next slate of games they got coming in here. So each win is going to be crucial. So yeah, I want to see if, even though it's not, I want to see the intensity of a must-win game when they play Chicago. That'll tell me how prepared they'll be for Green Bay. You see what I'm saying? That'll tell me how prepared they'll be for the defense will improve. We will be fine. William, let me tell you something. I believe the defense will improve. Because a lot of these guys are getting their first opportunity to play together, and they'll bond and friend, or they'll start bonding great as teammates. And I absolutely believe they will improve, especially with the signing of Clowney. I think they will improve, but they have to also not just improve their skill. They got to improve and deepen their will, because they're going to go through things on the field, understanding the game and playing other people, but they got to make a commitment one to another. We are not losing. And no, this team is not scoring. Football now is getting almost like damn near arena football. When you get a Brandon Aubrey who can kick a 67-yard field goal, all you got to do is get into the 50-yard line and you got points. So let's be real. Let's be real. You know what I mean? You need a defense that'll come together and say they're not getting to the 50. And that's a tough stop. That's a tough stop, NFL. You got to win every game. And why this is so very crucial for the Dallas Cowboys right now is with the injuries that are going on. Joe Burrow out for quite a while. And that's the one most people are talking about. But for us, Cowboys Nation and Cowboy fans over here, that Jaden Daniels is a big injury. And it looks like he's going to be day-to-day. And remember what I started this with. Are you closer to Philadelphia, or are you closer to the Giants? And getting this one game that Jaden Daniels is out or hurt, you can't stand to lose. You got to win and hope that things don't work out without him in the game for the Washington Commanders. That's how all that ties in right there. I do think it'll be interesting, folks, to see what happens with the Cincinnati Bengals going forward now that Joe Burrow is out. Because I want to watch this, and I spoke about this. I want to watch to see if, and I know they are best friends, and I told you guys I got, talking about doing some things with Jamar Chase and all of those guys. It's like a flip role here now. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson always battled and competed, and we kind of consider them the two best wide receivers in the National Football League today. But Justin Jefferson has always taken a different quarterback and made him. Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, anybody that he played with, he raised them up. And now, Jamar Chase, he had the same quarterback since college, and they've been killing everybody. He has to bring a new partner to the dance. The question becomes, can Jamar Chase still put up the numbers he's been putting up? Put up the numbers that Justin Jefferson's been putting up, even though Justin Jefferson keeps dancing with a new dancer? And the first time, Jamar Chase, you got to dance with a new dancer. That's going to be interesting. That's going to be interesting to watch. I want to see how that game plays out, to see if they'll be able, the Bengals will, to stay afloat while Joe Burrow is out. before I close, I want to talk about this because all of this pales in comparison to Saturday when I got to go down here to the University of Miami game versus the University of Florida. Say what you will. This is going to be an epic game only because it's Florida. This is that. Let me see how I'll say this. It's like the third. What we got? Bethune, South Florida, and then Florida State. And then we would have settled all of our business in the state of Florida. And then we work on the country. Any step towards something great, locker room, I always told you, must be progressive. And once we work our way up, we're going to start like we started in Florida. And that's how the schedule sets up. Winning a championship, sometimes it's about how that schedule set up. You're building, University of Miami is building confidence right now, and they're playing everybody everywhere in the same area. So you're getting the win, W-I-N. Right? Watch what I'm doing here now. You're getting the W-I-N, the University of Miami is. But you're also getting the wind, the W-I-N-D. All the talk, all in the state of Florida, that you are the best team in Florida, and you need all of that blowing in your ear when you get ready to take on the rest of the country and get in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? This is why I'm telling you I'm so excited about everything that's happening at the University of Miami. And I don't see 3-4 teams better than Miami. I know they have us 5 right now. And I'm okay with that right now because I got a little room. I got room. But I don't see 4 teams better than Miami right now. That's what I'm saying. Because right now, with those receivers, that running back, okay, Nathan, you correct me. Miami moved up to number 4. Okay, I guess I could take that. Yeah, all right, I can take that. But you know, I tell you what, you know, last week hurt me like I don't know what, that I was not at that game. But my boys took care of business. But you know, we will be there this week. I told you I'm cranking that siren. And I say we, that means you too. You know I'm going to bring you right in there with me. Let you see the greatness of being right there with those young men, feeling alive again. I feel like Dracula taking blood from them young men, make just doing the games. When I get home, I be worn the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Worn out. That's going to be a good game. So yeah, you guys tune in. I'll make sure I bring you along for that. You know what I mean? Hey, you're right. We're going to have some issues with FSU, but I can't worry about that right now. I can't worry about that. People talking about the problems at FSU. I got to worry about Florida right now, but I am looking forward to that. We got to focus on what's ahead. Miami got to focus on University of Florida, and Dallas has to focus on Chicago. Miami can't look to Florida State, and Dallas can't look to Green Bay. Green Bay. You can't be looking to Green Bay. Either way, we'll all be looking back here next week on the next live. Thank you guys for chatting right here in the locker room. Now I got to go get another workout in. You know what I mean? Trying to stay right, stay fit, stay tight. Y'all don't do it quite like Mike. Check you out later.